This is Okcoin Live, episode number 26.
And that's something that I really want to achieve. That people in the real life, like my mom or like my dad, just doing something, or and at the same time doing something on blockchain,
Yeah.
without them even knowing that they are doing something on chain. And I think that would be like for me the killer application or the killer thing that will be possible.
Hi, welcome to Okcoin Live. I'm Samuel McCullough, and this week we've got a really special guest. We have Marten Henskens from Astar joining us to discuss Okcoin's latest listing. Astar is a smart contract hub that's built on top of Polkadot. It's an actual parachain that's been voted in. And so we're going to discuss a bunch of stuff in this episode. We're going to talk about what is Polkadot for those that you don't know, and also what are parachains, how does a network become a parachain, and then get deeper into what is Astar and how does it function and why is it going to be very important for the Polkadot ecosystem. It's a smart contract hub, so it's taking in a lot of data from a lot of different networks, such as Ethereum, or Polygon, or even other ones like Cosmos as well too. So we're going to get pretty deep into this. This is a great episode, and it's a great introduction to what Astar is and what they're doing with the project and what they're trying to achieve with it. So really hope you enjoy it. Let's get on to the interview with Marten. All right, welcome. I just want to introduce Marten Henskens, who's the VP of Business Development at Astar Network. So he's been working with computer science stuff for the past 14 years, and he's been, I guess you're an ultra cyclist as well too. That's what I see in this bio as well too. Are you doing like 100-mile rides in a day or 200-mile rides?
Well, that was like before full time working on blockchain. That was the days like where I was like skinnier, more hair, more
And then crypto took over.
Yeah, the
more
crypto took
more
over.
wildly, and then there was like COVID, crypto season, and everything. Like working, eating at my desk, and yeah, got a
Well, it
little bit
looks
more
like
weight.
I also have. Well, I guess that's the other part. So the last thing here in your bio is that you're a sommelier. So maybe just the wine took a little bit bigger portion of life.
Yeah,
Wine and crypto.
that part. Yeah, I had like great challenges in my life. One of them was cycling. I did like long. I was more like a long distance cycler.
Hmm.
So I did some competitions for the long distance. Like my the biggest one was from Florence to the North Cape. It was like 200
Oh
or
wow.
300 k's per day. So that was
Wow.
like my biggest adventure. And then before that, I had a big passion for wine. I really wanted to get my own wine estate, like big dreams, like when you are young. So I started to study sommelier, and yeah, but things moved forward, and eventually now I'm back to my first love, computer science, and working with computers, working with technology, and that's how I came back into blockchain, basically.
Well, maybe after Astor or 100X's, then you can go off and buy your winery.
Hey, that's my retirement plan. So
Retirement plans.
getting to Tuscany, buying a nice vineyard. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe
Well,
making.
welcome, Martin. It's great to hear about some of the stuff you were doing earlier, but we're all crypto addicts, and we
Yes.
all do way too much of this stuff for too many hours a day. So, uh, maybe tell us about how you guys have how you actually came into crypto, and then also how you got into Aster as well too.
Yeah, sure. So in crypto, it was back in 2013. That was basically my first Bitcoin I ever bought. Like
Hmm.
buying 5 Bitcoins for 100 euros and selling it for 200 euros. So yeah, I did a sell double, but basically,
That was your first 20x.
really, it really was. So it
Yeah.
was a great experience. How I came into the blockchain, or mostly Bitcoin, was just two articles that I back then wrote, saw or read, and yeah, and then I always was interested about the crypto part of blockchain, and later on, I came more of an addict into the blockchain part, really the technology.
Hmm.
So then I switched my careers from working in computer science in Belgium to a teacher position. So I was a teacher for a whole while, but then I got sick and tired of this and the administration and being like a boss over you, telling you what to do. So I started back, and then actually the COVID hit. Like the COVID came out, and I was like, okay, I need to educate myself. I need to get out of teaching. I want to do something, get back to my first love, computer. So I started joining the Encode Hackathon, and at that time, the Encode Hackathon was all about Polkadot, so hacking on Polkadot. So I started looking into all the first early stages of the blockchains on Polkadot. One of them was Blossom, now known as Astar, and I started hacking on them, like getting my project the idea that I had onto them, and then I saw as well that they were missing some documentation. So I wrote my own documentation, developer documentation, and then
Nice.
developers and management came to me and they offered me a position basically. So yeah, that's how I started with this stuff.
So you're gonna have to educate us a little bit because I've been in the space for a long time. I really know what's happening on ETH and a lot of the EVM chains, but I don't really know a ton about Polkadot ecosystem and the parachains and just what's happening over in that side of the world. So maybe you could help us break down like what is Polkadot, like what are some of these parachains that like Plasma is, and just how they all kind of like integrate and work together.
Yes, to start off, I can say like, what's the mindset of Polkadot? Basically, that's like um, there's no blockchain that will rule them all. Meaning,
Hmm.
like, there's no superior blockchain. Doesn't exist. You can't build a superior blockchain. Like, so what's the mindset of Polkadot? Like, Polkadot is designed to connect blockchains together. Like, Polkadot itself is like only there to provide security and communication with blockchains, and all blockchains are connected to Polkadot itself. So, meaning that Polkadot will be there connecting blockchains, giving them the security that blockchains need, and provide them with basic communication with each other. That's really very simplified what Polkadot is.
So it's
Very
almost like a hub and a spoke. Is that one way to think about it?
yeah, you can say it like this. So like you said, the hub is like the relay chain, and the relay chain is like the circle that connects all
Mm.
parachains, and that relay chain will make sure that everything that you at the blockchain needs, and the first thing that the blockchain needs is security, period.
Hmm.
um, and that's the great thing about being connected to Polkadot, is that you as a project, you don't need to worry about security over the finalization of each block, because it's taken care by the validators and the relay chain. So that's a
Mm.
huge thing that's like lifted off our shoulders, because it's so important for each blockchain. And another thing that gives Polkadot to us is communication with all those blockchains connected with each other. So basically, what's Polkadot? Basically, Polkadot is like a circle or a hub that connects all blockchains that are together, and provides basic security and provides a communication with each other.
Just a clarification here for, especially for the listeners. So, can you talk a little bit about, just to set the baseline, about where the EVM compatibility is and where the smart contract layers are? So, the parallel chains, parachains, versus the main Polkadot chain, because the main chain is quite different than the parachains, right? So, just because when we typically talk about other smart contract chains and networks, you have the layer ones, the layer twos. They are the one carrying typically the smart contract capabilities. It's different in Polkadot, right? And so it's to your point about you have security on one level and you have the parachains that have the smart contracts. But can you explain that a little bit and why that's helpful for scalability?
Yeah. So Polkadot describes themselves as a layer zero, meaning like they are the foundation. Yes. If you are a developer and you want to build on Polkadot with smart contracts, you just can't. You can't build smart contracts on Polkadot itself. But you can have a blockchain connected to Polkadot that will provide smart contract features. That's, for instance, what we do. We provide smart contract features for developers, meaning if you want to build on Polkadot, you can build on a star, and it's built on Polkadot because it's built on a star and we connect it to Polkadot. And that's the great thing about building your application on top of Polkadot, let's say on us. So you build your project on us, and with the communication, like I said before, that's possible on Polkadot. You can communicate with your own Dapp, with your own project, to other blockchains in the ecosystem as well. let's say we got a parachain connected to Polkadot that's specialized in KYC or is specialized in compliance. You can actually build like a DeFi product on a star and connect with the KYC module that Parachain is using as well to have that verification, identity verification, for instance. Or you have another Parachain that is specialized in particular derivative or liquidity or liquid staking. You can use them as well to bring to your application that's built on us. So um, building on Polkadot with smart contracts just on Polkadot is not possible.
Hmm.
So you need to build it on a layer one, and the layer one are all the blockchains connected to Polkadot because Polkadot will provide that infrastructure at layer zero. We at the Star are layer one, and then top layer one you got the application layer. So you can see all the parachains that are connected to Polkadot as a layer one blockchain, and on top of them you have the application layer where dApps can be built on.
There, I just looked and there's like 14 different parachains that are live right now. So there's you, there's Akala, Moonbeam, a bunch of other ones which just exist. And like I've heard about a lot of these, and I know some of the names and kind of roughly know some of the stuff they do. But like, how should I see where Astar fits in with all the rest of these parachains? Like, are they competing or are they working together? Or is it they provide different services that kind of all get aggregated into like one big network across Polkadot? Like, how is Astar positioned amongst all of
Yeah,
them?
that's a good question. Actually, you can see this on different kind of layers, like on business, like we talk with all those projects. So we
Hmm.
actually are working together because um, doing this alone is not possible if you want to do something in Polkadot because you need to build Polkadot together. Otherwise, there's no sense of being on Polkadot, basically. Um, so we, as all the parent chains, we are talking with each other. We are talking about because we need to get this everything aligned regarding the XCM, the cross-chain messaging. So we need to rely on each other as well, trust each other, and getting all the data and assets across. So we are working together. Then you also have like thing like everybody knows the crypto community. That's a little bit difficult because
Hmm.
um, they do see us because, for instance, with Moonbeam as a competitor, as a rival, but basically we as a project do not see that way, because we offer different kind of solutions. Like what's a color? They are the DeFi hub on Polkadot, with their stablecoin, the AUSD, and things like that. Then you have Moonbeam. Moonbeam is the Ethereum compatible layer on Polkadot. Everything that you want with Ethereum, you can do it with Moonbeam.
Mhm.
So what's a star? A star is like the smart contract hub in general on Polkadot, meaning that we do not only provide the solutions for EVM, but basically we also provide solutions for the WebAssembly smart contracts, basically the new smart contracts that will be there to get that scalability that you need from dApps. So we are there to offer those environment to developers as well as layer two solutions and other bridges. So we want to be like the smart contract platform in general on Polkadot and
Hmm.
not just aiming for one particular set of contracts.
So is it the
Or
case that like when you come into the Polkadot ecosystem, it's like pretty easy to go from like Akala to Star to like Moonbeam to like it's pretty fluid in moving assets from one to the other, since they all talk to each other.
that's how we will see it in the future. Yes, currently it's still very in development stage. So now
Hmm.
you have Kusama. So Kusama already has the XCM embedded, so you can use that with all the parachains. But on Polkadot, this is still like in development. Like we are still waiting on the XCM version 3 to get done in Polkadot, because how does Polkadot work regarding development? So you got like your test nets, like with Coco, everything is like your test net on Polkadot. Then they bring like the version 1 on Kusama to get everything done. Then they do like the version 1.1 on Kusama, the version 1.2, version 1.3. And then they say, okay, this feature is now mature, it's ready, and then they will put it on Polkadot. So Polkadot will get all the latest mature developed features, while Kusama will get all the latest one, the latest things to play around with. So So that's why everything is now on testing, on not test, maybe test is wrong, but it's on Kusama to get done with all the parachains. And when this is like more mature, the version 3, that will come to Polkadot.
So it goes from like testing on the actual test nets to
Yeah.
Kusama, which is like test and prod. And then
Yes.
once it's like matured and you've kind of worked through some of the bugs or issues or just whatever, when it's hit a level where it's mature, then you have to get voted in as a parachain, right? There's like a it's parachain is parachain auctions.
There's the auction.
There's an auction, right? So maybe you can walk through how Astar went through its parachain auction and how it got added to the Polkadot mainnet.
Yes, so first we had the experience in June, July with the auction on Kusama. There we won the first round with Scheiden. And then there was like the first auction on Polkadot. It started in November, like last year. And then on December 17th, all the first 4 projects got launched as a parachain on Polkadot. It was a completely different experience as it was on Kusama, because there are more players now involved, not only project but also third parties that could help with a crowd loan. So at first we had like Kusama. It was very basic. Everybody who knew about a little bit from Kusama will join that crowd loan, so we can get that spot. And when you would look at the Parachain auction in on Polkadot, it was completely different because there was a lot more fuss, a lot more buzz about around it. So we got a lot more traction as well, and also more users involved in this. So we got, I think, on Kusama we got like 9,000 people involved,
Hmm.
while on Polkadot we got like almost 70, 80,000 people
Oh wow.
joining the auction. So that's a huge difference. So it was completely different. Also, we got like there was major support from all the top tier exchanges. Everyone could join as well from Binance to us. We get support from OKX, Hobie. So everyone, all the major players were involved to help the first 4 win a parachain. So to get connected to the relay chain, you need to be doing the auction basically. Yeah.
Right. So how does the auction work? Is it just that people with dot, people that own Polkadot are essentially like pledging their dot into the auction to say like I think that this uh like this network, like I think Astar should be connected into Polkadot. And so they like is there Polkadot like locked up for a period of time while that network is working? So it's almost like a bonding system where they're taking their Polkadot and then they say, I want you to be a parachain.
Yes, yes, that's basically correct. So the guy who invented Polkadot, Gavin Woods,
Hmm.
also the co-founder of Ethereum, he also went through the ICO hype. Everyone
Right.
who's been in the blockchain in 2017, 2018 ICO hype,
Mhm.
everyone was joining all new projects. And basically what happened if the project failed, yeah, you lost your money. That's it. So how could we solve this? And this is, I really think, like a genius system for the new ICO with Parachains and the auction. So you got your dot, you got your KSM if you want to do a Kusama, but let's just stick with dot. So you got your dot. So you lock it in in the crowd loan, meaning that a project opens an auction and you can join. So you stake your dot on that project. It will never leave your wallet. It will just be locked in your wallet, so you can't use it, but it's also not going to leave that. So you stake your dot for the amount of time, and the amount of time on Polkadot, it's 2 years. So
Oh wow.
basically, you lock your funds for 2 years. Yes, but in return, you get the native token from the project. So how it goes after 2 years, you just get your dots back. So you have your dots and your native tokens. So basically, what will you lose is just 2 years of your dots.
Hmm.
That's it, but you get it back. And what's the great thing about this? So after 2 years, every parachain needs to do a new auction. So basically, we after 2 years, we need to do the same auction again. So we need to have the commitment from the community as well. So if you as a project fails with the development, community can say, "Oh, I will never stake on you again," and then you will have troubles getting that new slot. Um, but the end user still got their dot back. They got the native token. So basically, they don't lose anything, except the 2 years that their dots are lost. So that's an improvement on how the ICO happened in 2017. You staked on a project, they did nothing. Okay, yeah, you lost everything basically. um, and if you just were like a hodler. But if you would do it like on Parachains, you stake your dot, you just get your initial fund that you use, just get it back after 2 years. It's on Polkadot 2 years, but on Kusama it's 1 year.
Hmm.
Yeah, but then yeah, you lose out on the price action. So so
That's correct. Yeah.
so maybe let me just kind of take a little bit deeper, so we could talk about Astar a little bit. Tell us, about kind of, there are a bunch of players that are going to the auctions, right, and getting the Polkadot parachains. What themes are you seeing that are being built on Polkadot in terms of these layer ones, if you will? If dot is a layer zero, the layer ones that are winning the auctions. How are you guys different? What are you trying to achieve? Um, and ultimately, I'd love to understand, why did you guys choose dot? I mean, you could have you could build on top of many different layers, and you said blockchain or crypto is not going to be one chain. We fully subscribe to that. So why dot?
Yeah. So why Polkadot? Why dot? Basically, yeah, it's like I was saying in the beginning, it provides so much features. But what are we trying to do? We have a vision set up. We have a company vision, and that is being there for the infrastructure for Web3 that everybody is hoping to get. Um, what do you need for Web3 to achieve? That's like a great blockchain that has a security that is scalable, and that can provide all the feature that everybody is looking in Web3 with blockchain. So how does it go? Like for security, we got the relay chain. We got Polkadot taking care of it. That's something that we needed. So that will fix the problem. Then regarding scalability, what does Polkadot does regarding scalability? Um, Polkadot itself is future-proof built. It's built to last for a long time. How does it work? Like um, Polkadot is built with a framework of substrate. It's built with Rust, so that makes that you can upgrade it very easily. Look at Ethereum. If they need to do an upgrade, they need to do a hard fork. They need to fork everything. They need to do everything, and that takes a lot of time. What can we do with Polkadot? They can just through the governance, they can upload a new runtime, a new mechanism, and that will help fix some bugs. That can help fix some things that are needed to improve the ecosystem without forking something. So if you look at Polkadot, they already did now, I think, already 30 upgrades. So basically 30 forks on as it would be on Ethereum. And nobody ever will see this as an end user. So that makes it future proof, makes it more scalable for the future because you can upgrade your mechanism. That is one. Um, and then another thing is like just the cross chain communication that you have with other parachains. It's like very low fee. You can use all blockchains that are connected to the Polkadot. So that's one of the reasons, or three reasons, why we choose to build on Polkadot. And what do we offer with Astar? What do we offer for the Polkadot ecosystem or for developers? We are offering an infrastructure for developers to build on, to be like the only place that they need to be. For instance, like I was saying, we are building a smart contract hub on Polkadot, meaning we have WASM as well as EVM, meaning like all the developers who are now already building on blockchain, all those blockchain developers who are coding with Solidity or Viper, they can build on us. Then we also got like WASM, and WASM is a very scalable solution when it comes to smart contracts because it has a lot of features or a lot of complexity that EVM currently doesn't can achieve. So this we will see WASM as a future for smart contracts, and that's why we built like an ecosystem where WASM smart contracts as well as EVM smart contracts can coexist in the same place without
By the
any.
way, WASM is WebAssembly for those
Yes,
who
correct.
those who don't know, but just it gives developers, basically TLDR gives developers better tools to build, right?
Yeah.
Easy kind of TLDR summary. Okay.
Yes,
And EVM is Ethereum virtual machine. So
Yeah.
like if you're using anything with like MetaMask, that's a Ethereum virtual machine network. So this would be like Ethereum or Polygon or BSC or
It's like
like
IBM and IBM compatible. But I don't know if
right.
I'm aging myself over. Like I leapfrog the main people that are in crypto now. They probably don't even know what IBM and IBM compatible is from back in the day.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
Cosmos is using a lot of WASM, aren't they?
Yeah, wasn't like things. Yes, so you got Cosmos that is doing wasm WebAssembly. You got yeah, Near, of course. Then you also got Solana. They are all doing things with wasm. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
On Ethereum, they also see this problem, so they are creating some EWASM. But basically, EWASM is, yeah, it still has a lot of problems and cannot be compared to a native WASM.
Wrapped Wasm.
Yes,
Baked Wasm.
fake WASM. Yes,
Wasm 3,3. 99 Wasm.
yeah. So if you would look at eWASM on Ethereum, yeah, the native WASM will still be 100 to, until 10,000 times faster than eWASM will be ever. So native WASM is like something that we see really as a future for smart contracts, because um, it gives so much potential to developers and also new developers coming into the blockchain. So when you would look at EVM, who can build with EVM? Those are the blockchain developers, those who know how to code with Solidity, who know how
Mhm.
to code in Viper and things like that. But with WASM, you can actually code with different kinds of languages, because different kind of languages can be compiled into WASM. So if you have a company and you got some C++ writers or some C sharp writers, they can actually do it in their own code and compile it into WASM.
Hmm.
And so you can use your in-house developers to build smart contracts. This will get a lot more developers coming in the blockchain, and will scale blockchain in overall for everyone. This is something that Solana and Near and Cosmos also are doing like developer support for companies who are not used to build with used to build with blockchain. They just build with their own native language that they are used to, and then compile into WASM that they can use on the blockchain. And that's why we see WASM as a future, because not only can it can be compiled from different kinds of languages, the performance of WASM is very high because the language is very closely built to the native machine code. Um, yeah, and I will not go into
Yeah.
the technical, but yeah, basically we see what that's why we want to build like a place where the new developers who wants to build something on WASM can coexist with people who wants to build with Solidity. And again, with the Star, what we also made like is the XVM. We call it the XVM, the cross-chain virtual machine. Like you can call contracts from EVM to WASM and WASM to EVM. So
Hmm.
project can easily call each other as well with different kind of smart contracts.
So I'm starting to see like why you guys are calling yourself a smart contract hub. I mean, what is it going to mean for actual usability of these smart contracts? Will a smart contract be able to live on Solana and then communicate through Astar and then have information be taken back to Ethereum as well too? Like, is it working like a hub where information flows in and out, or is it do they do the are these networks actually talking to each other, or you're actually broadcasting information back to these networks? Or how is that going to work when people are using different types of smart contracts on Astar?
Well, different you can call each other inside our blockchain. Like
Hmm.
calling to another smart contract on Solana is a whole lot of technical thing that's most likely will only happen when we got like those data bridges that are currently not really built or still in development. But inside our ecosystem, those contracts can call with each other.
Hmm.
Yes. Then we are also talking with the X. I also mentioned the XCM version 3. That's the new version of the cross-chain messaging inside Polkadot. This will also cover data um, communication, meaning like you can transfer NFTs from one parachain to another parachain.
Oh,
You
cool.
can even call smart contracts from one parachain to another parachain. So there's a lot of possibility that can be done, and it's still in development. And I see, yeah, a huge future for the Polkadot ecosystem in general. But also, yeah, I'm working here, so I have a very mindset only maybe bias for Polkadot, but I see, yeah, huge potential.
Yeah, so one of the things that was really interesting about what you guys are building on Astar was the Dapp staking. like I started reading about it and it sounded pretty cool. I mean, it has a lot of the same mechanics that you were mentioning, or it seems like similar mechanics that the Parachains have, where people like vote in the DApps that actually get used, and then the DApps get like a portion of the emission rewards, and then those get distributed between the people who are like staking for the DApps and then the DApp owners themselves. So it provides them some revenue and stuff, so they can continue on. So maybe you could like get into the mechanics of that and how like people that are owning Astar can actually vote for these dApps and support the ecosystem.
Yes, okay. So dApp staking is basically designed because, like I was saying before, we are building a parachain for smart contracts for developers to use. So we want to make sure that the developers are taken care of. Um, and how are we doing this? With dApp staking is that you as a developer, if you have a product who is live in our ecosystem, our community can vote for your project and saying like, I really like your work, I really want to support you with your development, so I stake on you. um, and for the user who are staking, it's basically the same as any staking mechanism that they are used to, like staking on nodes, staking on validators. For the end user or not, they just stake on a dApp and they get staking rewards. But
Mm.
on the other hand, they're also supporting the project because based on your staked amount, you are supporting the project that you really like with the development, because they get a portion of the inflation that we have in our ecosystem. So the inflation that we have, 50%, current 50% will go to the developers. We just give it to the developers because we want them to focus on the development work.
Mm.
Um, it's
That's
similar to the crowd loan. Sorry,
Yeah.
go
No,
ahead.
I mean, it would like save them, and especially if they're building a good product and they get a lot of people staking towards them. Maybe then they don't have to go like searching for a lot of VC money, right? They don't have to build in bad token mechanics that
Yes,
prefer
indeed.
like one party over the other, because now they're able to take, or they're able to gain that residual income from the Astar network itself, rather than having to like uh, create like a two-tiered society.
Yes, yes. It's we are focusing on those um, innovating projects who are having like a great idea to getting thing done, but don't want to talk with that VC or raising that money or do like an IDO or things like that. They just want to create that product, and they got everything. They are integrated with us. They got everything going. Then they can join our dApp staking mechanism, so our community can see their development going at the same time, and users can provide a staked amount and then they get rewards. And at the same time, if they don't meet up with the development, users just unstake, or they can even delist them from debt staking to our
Mm.
DAO system. That you say, okay, sorry, they already raised too much and they haven't done anything, so they are delisted from debt staking. So
Mm.
that's something that we really want to achieve, like, and in the long term, creating like a DAO community inside a star that they can vote on projects regarding their development as well, through dApp staking. And dApp staking itself brings a lot of, how do I say it, a lot of possibilities for developers, because they can use it for their funding. Basically, they can use it to buy for their infrastructure costs, because it's very expensive, of course. They can use it to give it to their employees, but they can also use it as liquidity in the project, or they can also use it to add it to a staking pool to give extra rewards for staking, to get more traction on them, to get more TVL, to get more active users. So there's a lot of possibilities for projects to use the rewards. They can use it in their DeFi system, or they can just use it for paying their development costs.
Are there any projects that? What are some of your favorite projects or themes that are going to be built on a star and uh, that are being built now and are going to be built in the future?
Yes. My favorite projects are those who are utilizing all our feature that we currently have available. But currently, I say we still have some limitations on everything. We still haven't got the toolings for WASM ready. So this is still in a very early stage, but we do have everything for EVM. We do have dApp staking. We do have pre-compiled. We have everything in place. So I like projects who are using dApp staking in their in the EVM
Mm.
project, using the bridge with EVM with native substrate, and using everything in the backend, while the user is just clicking on with their MetaMask and at the same time using native dApp staking and getting everything integrated. Those are my favorite ones.
So it's essentially a lot of DeFi, right?
Yeah.
Currently we have a lot of DeFi project going on, but we also like Astar is founded in Japan. What's the major thing in Japan is manga and things like. So we have big IPs as well who are creating their manga art and will be minted soon. We have a big one coming up. So we are working with a lot of NFT artists, creators as well in our ecosystem. Yeah, so DeFi, NFT are currently the most built project on Astar. Yes.
Yeah, that when you're talking about NFTs, what type of NFTs? Basic art, metaverse NFTs. What are you seeing?
Currently on our platform, we see a lot of basic art created by very famous artists in the manga. We even got, but soon we have somebody creating his collection that used to work with Final Fantasy as well. So he's creating his collection as well on us. And another thing is um, the NFTs that are connected to a voting system in our DAO community. That our different DAO communities have their own NFT collection that they will be using to benefit our ecosystem as well. So currently, basic is like basic art as well as bringing some trying to get more utilities done with the NFTs. So a lot of things going on in that scene. Yeah, it's even hard for me to catch up with everything that is going on. Like that's the
I
great thing about working here.
I have a crazy question for you.
Yeah.
Eyes closed. Let's say all the features are there. Or 5 years down the line, what's a project that you would love to see on a star? Just to, well, it could be anything, right? Maybe an unknown. Just you're like, hey, if this comes and this is being built, what would that be?
Um, that's difficult. I have different wishes in the IoT thing and NFT, bringing NFT to real use cases. Is what I really want to see is some innovative project that we currently can't imagine being out there and will be built like in 4 years on a star using basically people who are using the product without even knowing that it's using blockchain. And that's something that I really want to achieve, that people in the real life, like my mom or like my dad, just doing something or and at the same time doing something on blockchain
Yeah.
without them even knowing that they are doing something on chain. And I think that would be like for me the killer application or the killer thing that will be possible. And getting at everything like, yeah, doing something like same as having a user doing a DeFi product, doing like some swapping, and at the same time is swapping something on Cosmos as well as on Polygon, and then on us without even knowing that they are doing this, or creating pools together from different ecosystems, giving that yield as well. I think like having that interoperability, having that Web3 mindset as well done. Yeah, I think we are still in such an early stage that in 4 or 5 years, I think we will most likely say at that this podcast we never thought that will be possible, and 5 years is still long in crypto. So
I just don't know how like our children are gonna go to school. They're gonna be like on Minecraft, creating these worlds, minting them as NFTs, selling them to each other, you know,
yeah,
and then like who's gonna pay attention to physics or chemistry when you can just NFT your life and print money that way.
yeah, it will be
So
Polkadot in real life, like instead of doing the cards like the NFT collections.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
indeed. Yeah, it's very interesting to even imagine where it can be. If you look at 5 years ago, where we were then and now, it's insane.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The light years
Yeah,
already.
indeed.
Yeah. So we had a lighting change. Uh,
Mhm. It's getting
Martin,
it's getting dark in Amsterdam, so
yeah, Martin's back in the light. Um, so we're gonna wrap things up. We got two things to finish up with. We're gonna ask you a couple of questions called our quick questions, and you can give us a quick response. Just let us know what is good and what not good. And then we're going to go to our final thing, which we're going to wrap up with, which is a couple of okay, not okay. So we're going to ask you some controversial things, or maybe not controversial things, that you can come back and tell if it's okay or not okay. So, Alex, do you want to start out with the quick questions, or you want me to go? Oh, you're on mute, so I'll do it. All right. Okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm on mute. I was on mute. This is user error. We got lighting changes, mute changes. I said I'm ready to go. I'm. These are gonna be hard though. These are gonna be hard. So I think it was. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Your favorite. We need fast fire, rapid fire. First thing comes to your mind. Your favorite crypto, not Polkadot or Astar.
Oh, not Polkadot or Astar.
Oh, it was a twist. It was a twist in the end.
Yeah, the quick question. Nifty.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a
Go
good
ahead,
one.
Sam.
What about best place to learn about alpha in crypto? Is it Twitter, Telegram, or Discord for alpha? Like
Discord.
Oh, good one.
Okay. Your favorite hobbies outside of crypto?
Cycling.
And wine.
And wine and drinking and eating and
Or cycling while drinking wine. You know those water bottles? Martin has that's wine in those water bottles.
Actually, we can add a wine-based question. So I'll ask one. Which country has the best wine?
Italy.
Italy. Okay, nice. And
Okay.
what about for biking? Like, what company makes the best bikes?
Oh, that's a difficult one, because I'm riding on a frame made in my country, in Belgium, because I like to support local local stores, and this one is built like in Belgium.
Oh, nice.
It's Noble. Let's say Noble Cycling. It's
Sweet.
a brand. Yeah. But I used to ride a Specialized back in the days. Yeah.
Nice American brand.
Nice.
Yeah, indeed. I
I'm
even
just
got
happy. That's my bike. I gotta specialize, and I'm just happy I chose what the pros choose over here.
Yeah, I even got like the bike from Specialized. It's not the original, but the one that Kevin Costner used when he was riding a cycle next to horses. Don't know if you knew the movie. That was also on a Specialized, an old one.
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
I got that like in my room actually.
How many bikes do you have?
4.
Is that like a smaller amount than you used to have, or is it? Do you have a?
Yeah, I had more because I also had like a bicycle shop back in the days.
Oh
So,
wow, like a bike.
yeah.
Oh, so you're like proper addicted to cycling. You even had a bicycling shop.
Yeah, when I go for something, I go full in. Going for a wine, I go for Sommelier. Going for cycling, I go for a shop. Going for crypto, I work in Leomar and blockchain.
What's the best addiction? Road cycling, like wine, or crypto?
Crypto. Definitely.
Cycling while drinking wine. Okay or not okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe
At
that's
the end,
that's the next one. You know, they just came out with step-ins, so maybe there's like a cycling step-in for Star that's coming.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing more things with the Star. Maybe something can come later on. Who knows?
So we're gonna do okay or not okay. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a couple of things, and then you can tell me if it's okay or not okay. So what about what do you think about like the World Cycling Body stripping like Lance and the other guys of their Tour de France wins, and essentially pulling them out of the history books over the doping allegations?
Oh, not okay.
Not okay.
No.
What about eating leftover pizza that's been out all night, not in the refrigerator?
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite pizza. It's a seasoning. It's an overnight room temperature seasoning.
That's the same with spaghetti. It's best if like the day after.
What about mixing like wine with Coke or?
Oh, not okay.
Oh,
What?
you never heard of that
Mixing
before?
wine with Coke.
Like wine with Coke. It's like a popular thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. I know it's a thing. But
Who does this? Who?
I judge those people. I know.
What's happening right now? What about mixing Coke with Coke? Two Diet Coke and regular Coke.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, 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 no.
yeah, the nice one.
I think we should do the last one. Is how do we find out more? If people want to find out more about you and Star and the project, how do they contact you? Where should they go?
Just go to Astar.network. Astar.network has all the links available, all our communities, Twitter, applications, Dapp staking, everything is available on our main website.
What about you?
For me, it's best to go on LinkedIn. If you want to follow me, best go to LinkedIn, and there you also will see my accounts to my Twitter as well. But I'm not so active on Twitter.
That
But
means
yeah, you can follow me.
that means you're a real builder.
Yeah, you can find me more on Discord of Element than on Twitter. So
Being active on Twitter, okay or not okay?
no, not it. It's a game for some people. I think some people need it. It's like an addiction on its own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
that's a great place to wrap up on. Martin, thanks for coming on for educating us about Polkadot and Parachains and Astar and all the things that you're building. It sounds really awesome. I personally don't know enough about Polkadot. It looks like it's a very complex and deep and growing ecosystem, and we're gonna have to go put in some work to learn more about it because I'm really the more that I've looked into what you guys are building at Astar, the more I'm surprised about just the cool stuff, cool infrastructure, and really excited about it. So really looking forward to getting out and checking out more of what Astar
Thank
is
you.
being built. So thanks so much for coming on Okcoin Live.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me. Thank you.
Well, that was an awesome show. Super happy to have Martin on. Really loved hearing about what Astar is doing and just about his other hobbies as well too, the cycling and the wine and stuff. Super cool. I hope you guys really enjoy this. I think there's a ton to learn about Parachains and Polkadot and how the auction system works, and also about Astar as well too, and the smart contract hub that they're building. So you can find all that information in the show notes. Just go down below. And also, if you like what we're doing here at OKCoin Live, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, show us that we're doing a good job. All right, we'll see you again for the next episode.